Oh yeah, YouTube, George here, and we're back at it again. In the last video you'll seen that I wore out 2 wire cups, taking all the old paint and filler that they applied in the factory onto this case. It was in very poor condition, there was lots of flaking here and there, so I decided rather than trying to put fresh filler on top of what was there, which will inevitably, in my experience, will crack and it'll start to cause you further problems down the road, just to take the whole lot off and start again. So I have a tin of Novol Unisoft here, which is ideal for this job. So we're going to mix up a bit of this and start spreading it on. You don't need to go bonkers, you don't need to be putting it on with a hawk and a trowel or a shovel or whatever. Just a nice coat. You'll see when we get going, we're going to cover all the major areas that we can see are going to get a skim of body filler. We will have to do some finger work in spaces like here and whatnot. So I'm going to mix up now and get going. So this is a 2-part filler. We have the filler itself and then we have the hardener. So the general rule of thumb with this stuff is a golf ball of filler to a pea of hardener. Okay, if you've never used it before, but I've spent lots of time with this stuff, so I know exactly what's what with it. So basically what I do is I'll take about this much, which will probably cover most of it. You get your filler and just go down along the length of it like that. That's enough hardener, because you only have a set amount of working time with this stuff, and then when you're mixing it, you just kind of fold it back on top of itself until it all turns a uniform colour. You don't want any pink streaks in it. You're basically just folding it into itself. We're still seeing pink in it there, so a little bit to go yet. No, we're good there.
How long do you have to work with it?
What we have here, you'll probably have about 10-15 minutes. So we're going to take it on the back of the scraper like this. Try and keep it off the surfaces that you don't want. It's a waste of time masking it. You just kind of... You're going to be sanding off 90% of what you put on. That's the way it works with this stuff. It looks very messy and clotty now, but by the time you're finished and you have it sanded and stuff, it'll look a lot better. So you can get in there to areas like that with your finger. To get the filler where you need it to be. You're not aiming for perfection here, you just want it to cover it. If after sanding you find that you need to go again, that's what you have to do. Let's put something over that now to stop it rolling. I'm going to change it to a narrower lad here.
The tighter.
Yeah.
Do you want me to hold it for you so it's not rocking?
Okay. this looks a total mess now, but when this is sanded it'll be grand. This is what they done in the factory because the castings are so rough. When they come out, they just smooth them out with car body filler, or Bondo as the Americans call it.
And how long do you leave it on for?
Until it goes hard, about 20 minutes. This time of the year is not too bad. You have about 20 minutes of work time. In the summer when it's warm you have less time because you have to put very little hardener in it because it goes off so fast. You'll know when it's starting to go off on you because you'll feel it. You can't spread it out properly. It feels rubbery. Don't need it there.
So anywhere it's smooth already?
Yeah. I'm going to have to mix up another little bit. You can mix it up on cardboard, or a lot of people use glass, sheet of glass to mix it on.
Perspex?
Well, glass is better because you can come along and scrape it with a blade when you're done. So you can use it over and over and over again. Or you can get a thing called an onion. The body shops use them. It's like a notebook. And you mix the filler on each page, and then when you're finished with that page you tear it out and use another one.
That's cool.
Right, so we'll have to mix up some more and come back to it then. Like really, this is an extra step. I could have got away without doing this, but I figured when we're this far in,
Might as well make it look good.
that's it. Like I said, you're going to be sanding 90% of this off, so. Just to give it a smooth surface when you prime it. This stuff is nearly better to spread out with your finger.
Seems more even. So many nooks and crannies in it.
Yeah, it's not very flat, you know, there's only a couple of flat areas on it. be careful that you don't fill up any holes. Very easy to do.
Do you need some there?
Yeah, put some there now.
I wouldn't be telling you what to do, like.
No, not in your nature.
Funny boy.
Like ice in a cake.
Hmm.
You know, really, you just want to kind of concentrate in the areas that you can
See.
see very well when it's on the machine in front of you, because when this is on the machine in front of you, it's at eye level. So you want it to look good. Oh, I think we're pretty good at that. Just let it go off now and give it a sand, and then I suppose. Right, so we're going to give this a bit of a sand here, the electric sander, dual action sander. We're not going for show car quality here, we just want a smooth, something smooth for paint to go. So I'll time lapse for most of this, and then I'll finish the rest of it off camera. So we ran out of space on the camera. I have to look into storage solutions a little better now, that my file sizes are getting a bit bigger. So anyway, here's what we ended up with after the sanding, right? So like I said in the video where we're spreading it in that portion, that you're sanding 90% or even more away. So you're only leaving filler in the likes of these craters here. So you have a smooth surface for priming on. Now the likes of these here are where it was battered and whatnot with tools over the years, so that's why you have more in other areas. Now there was a lot of damage around here. I don't know, was it somebody trying to get the quill handle off or something like that? But also what I found as well, that with the coarser grit paper, like the 100 and what did I go at it with, 120 grit, I was actually able to sand the cast fairly smooth. So where it was really, really bad, I was actually able to sand it over it. Now that's what they would have done in the factory if they had the time. So where that sits now, that's ready for primer. And again, I'm waiting for the weather to cooperate, because I'm not spraying in here because I don't want to destroy the place. So as soon as we get a window in the weather that I can bring this outside and spray it, we'll be golden. So you can see there the likes of all these marks that are left in the cast. You end up, you know, with a very minute amount of filler left in them. So that gives you that nice finish when you prime it and get your paint onto it. It's fairly smooth. Again, I'm not going for crazy quality here. You see some lads restoring machines or machine tools, and they just go to absolutely stupid levels of trying to get it to look like 67 Camaro or something like that. It's absolutely pointless. It's going to get chipped, it's going to get scratched, it's going to be covered in oil, so there's no point. So in the next video we'll be back, we'll prime it, and if we have enough good weather we'll get it painted as well. So that's it for this one, and we'll get you in the next one. All the best, bye bye.